Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Micah just checking in with another weekly video log on my bodybuilding prep for 2015 for April. And so I'm actually going to label this video Dem Contest Prep Feels just because, I've been contest prepping for about 18 weeks and I have 6 weeks to go. I'm only doing this one show this year. I usually do two, but for just personal reason and just, looking to take a pretty extensive break from competing and just being able to let my body rest, recuperate. And when you're natural, you definitely want to take the time to rebuild yourself and come in even better the next time you step on stage. It's really not about chasing the stage. It's really what you can do in that building phase. It's the total package. It's the total experience, the journey. That's really what it really comes down to. And so the reason why I named it Dem Contest Prep Feels is just because I feel it's appropriate to kind of keep it real as far as contest preps in general and how you feel throughout the course of that, however long you decide to prep. For me personally, I find that doing longer preps, definitely gives you the time that's necessary to bring in that proper conditioning, do it in a healthier way rather than trying to play catch up through like a 12-week or a 14-week. And truly being honest with yourself and how long it's going to take to lose body fat, not just weight loss on the scale, and just being able to try and enjoy the experience and keeping balance, with the other aspects of life. I think there's like this, there's this constant struggle through contest preps because there's so much focus on putting your best into your workouts, putting your best into your nutrition, and really dialing it in. It almost becomes overpowering to the other responsibilities, the other things that you care about, such as family, friends, being social, and being able to have that balance with work-life balance. But it's the whole package, and being able to keep that through a contest prep, especially a longer one, definitely can take its toll. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably at the point where it really becomes the mental game, as far as where you're at. And to be honest with you, it's really hard to go week to week. And as you get closer to the show, you start second guessing yourself. You start thinking, wow, am I doing everything possible to bring in my best? And at the same time, am I detracting from what's really important, which is my family, my wife especially, and just being able to keep up function at work. I mean, I definitely want to make sure I'm working at a high capacity, and that's where it becomes a challenge for most. And for me personally, yes. And that's how it becomes the struggle. I can only imagine what happens if you have a shorter window of time to prep, like a 12 or 14 weeks or however long you decide to go. But I say the shorter the amount of time that you're prepping puts a lot more stress. This really depends on where you're at, training wise and body fat wise and conditioning wise. And some people may be able to prep for short periods of time and it really doesn't faze them. For me personally, I take longer preps so that I can adjust appropriately, give myself some wiggle room just in case I have an off week. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I have not deviated from anything that I've put into this prep. I've been completely compliant as far as getting in my cardio, putting in every effort, every ounce of effort into my workouts, and really trying to keep that balance. I'd say overall, I say these last few weeks, it's been a little touch and go, just because my fatigue is happening, energy levels, mental exhaustion is kicking in. But honestly, it's not affecting the way that I am performing in the gym, performing with my nutrition, being able to function somewhat appropriately at my work, and honestly just trying to keep a balance with my wife and my family. And it's always a learning experience each time I prep to figure out what's gonna keep that balance. And I think if you're gonna look at bodybuilding or whatever you're competing in or whatever your passion is, if that's overtaking the other things that you love about life, there's something wrong. Because at the end of the day, you know, if I step on stage and I bring in my best and I win, you know, and I win my class, and I finally, you know, am bringing something that I can be super proud of, and nobody's there to support me, or I've stepped on a lot of people to get there, it's just not worth it to me. I feel like you have to be able to lift other people up as you're going through this experience. You have to try and keep a balance with those relationships that you have, because they're the ones that are going to help you through a prep. Because honestly, if I try to do this by myself, there's no way possible that I could continue. I like to think of me as being a strong person and being able to push through things. And when you take a step back, I look at the people that support me along the way, and if I didn't have them, I don't know what I would be doing. And I can say that hiring, you know, my coach Donovan has been a great experience. I think I really needed that, that extra jolt 10 weeks out, because I was getting the contest prep feels of exhaustion and like, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to have to think so much and put so much emphasis on what my next approach is or how I'm going to keep my body progressing each week. And it's been such a pleasure being able to have that extra support along with all the other supports that I have throughout this experience. So honestly, I like to say that in the course of these next 6 weeks, it's going to be very interesting, because I've already surpassed what I look like in my last June show in 2014, and that's probably the best I've ever looked. And I was 152, 153 pounds, and this time around, I actually reached a contest prep this morning at 151.8, so I've lost 21 pounds in a matter of 18 weeks, and that's pretty dang good. I started ahead of schedule from where I was at the year previous for my contest prep, as far as where I was at with weight. And honestly, like, I'm pretty excited. I'm not even sad about losing weight on the scale. This will probably be one of my lightest stepping on stage weight. I may end up in the 140s, mid 140s, you know, somewhere around that range when it comes down to that last week or two. And that's totally fine with me, because I feel like my conditioning is going to be different this time around in a positive note. And you know, my coach, you know, he's definitely said, you know, by 6 weeks out you should be able to see weekly differences. By 4 weeks out, we go all out, balls to the wall. And I'm kind of scared, because I honestly feel like I am pushing myself to the next level on each workout. And so it'll be interesting. I'm kind of excited just to see what happens in these next 6 weeks, and how I'm going to be able to improve and bring something totally different. To know that I already surpassed what I look like when I was at 7 weeks out, that's still a lot of time to bring in a whole new me. And whatever the weight on the scale says, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I am going to be a totally different person when I step on that stage. And I like to hope that I have the support, that continued support that I have from my family, my wife, my friends throughout this experience. I try to do as much as possible to keep up those relationships. And definitely, you know, if you guys are watching this, like, I apologize if I'm not really up to par with my relationships. And like I said, it's always a continuing learning experience on how you can keep that balance. But honestly, I feel really good about everything that I'm doing. Workouts are going well, nutrition going well, spot on. I'm luckily having some refeed food today. feel pretty depleted. But like my coach has told me and instructed me, let's go ahead 6 weeks out. No, 7 weeks out. Let's cut down on the progress pics. Don't post them. And I totally agree with him because I want to bring something special, something different to the stage, and I'd like to keep the hype up and blow people away once I step on stage again. And so, so that'll be exciting. I get really excited when I see progress. I like to post it, but I definitely agree with the idea behind, you know, keeping people somewhat in the dark on what I look like, and when I hit the stage, they'll know what I did. Throughout the last course of 7-8 weeks, what my last progress pics and video. But other than that, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. And honestly, if you have questions, comments, please leave them below. If you experience contest prep feels, definitely post them in the comments, because that'll help me feel a little bit better about my experience. But that definitely does not take away from the fun and passion that I have about bodybuilding and doing it the natural way and figuring out how you can fine-tune your own body and bring in your personal best, because it's a definite learning experience when you put in this much effort into changing your physique and trying to keep that balance. You learn so much about what the human body is capable of when you yourself put in that effort. So like I said, leave comments, questions, suggestions, and I will definitely relate to those on future videos. But thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.